Ang kasaysayan po ninyong matutunghayan sa video na ito ay ang kasaysayan kung kailan at paano nagsimula dumating ang mga anak bayan mula sa province ng Fujian, China upang baguhin ang kasaysayan ng Philippine Revolution noong 1896 at i-divert ito mula sa Fujian, China.
This is not the first time I'm introducing our commencement speaker. I know you are all eager, as I am, to listen to our distinguished commencement speaker. When our esteemed president asked me to introduce our commencement speaker, last year I also introduced him during the 64th foundation anniversary of our school. He is a distinguished and outstanding alumnus of our beloved university. And so, ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency, His Honor, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte. The fact is, the whole country knows him already. And perhaps more importantly, what he stands for.
You know, I'm late. I'm always late, actually, nowadays. I went to Novaliches to arrange a rally there with the leaders, the Moro people here.
Huwag po tayong malilito tungkol sa sinasabi ni Duterte na Moro.
The Moro people here.
Dahil sila rin po yan na mga inchik na galing dyan sa
The Moro
Xiamen,
people here.
sa Fujian.
And I thought that it would take me a lifetime to reach this place, so I radioed for help at nag-chopper in one of the buildings. The chopper landed, and sabi ko, hindi ako talaga abot. And I told him, papatayin talaga ako ng mga laurel, ba't pag hindi ako dumating dito? Well, I am your schoolmate. I choose to enroll in the Lyceum. You know why? Hinahabol ko yung mga the plus point of our generation from Lyceum. Nandoon kasi yung mga Lava Brothers, nandoon yung season, and teaching also was si David Lapos. I guess I was really out for something. I started with Bayan. And I did well. Now, tinatanong niya ako, anong tribo ni Duterte? Bakit masama ang bunga niyan? Well, we trace our pedigree sa papa. Ang lolo ko, Chinese, from Xiamen. And we became the first kabataang makabayan. So I have a line in my family na puro Moro. Ang lolo ko, Chinese, from Xiamen. So my father came from Cebu. So kung magtanong kayo, anong tribo mo, Duterte? Cebuano. Nakatira ka ba doon? Hindi. Bakasyon lang. May kilala ka sa Davao? Wala rin. Kasi nakatira ako sa Davao. Doon ako lumaki. Pero kami doon sa Visayas nga, we grew up in a neighborhood. Mix kami lahat. No tribe can claim dominance there. No tribe can claim dominance there.
The fact is, the whole country knows him already. And perhaps more importantly, what he stands for.
Ang lolo ko, Chinese, from Xiamen. Makuha mo ang Philippines, wala nang problema. Kasi maraming pera eh.
For instance, my husband's great-great-grandfather was Chinese from the great province of Fujian. He fought under the Spanish flag to defend Manila against the British and was awarded with a nobility title by the Spanish government. To defend Manila against the British,
leave immediately and keep her off. U.S. military aircraft operated Alpha. This is Kelly the Youth Reef. China had the sovereignty of the national islands, including Youth Reef and its adjacent waters. Leave immediately and keep her off so as to avoid enemy standing.
It's a routine occurrence for us on these flights. It happens throughout the flight where they come over and then we just go back with our standard response, and it really has no effect on any operations or anything we do.
this is only one example of the intricate and abiding connections of blood between the Philippines and China. We are family and we are neighbors. Because of our relations, forged by blood relations and geography, the Philippines and China grew to become more than good neighbors, more than good partners, more than good friends. We are family. We are family. We are family. We are family. And we are neighbors. We are family. We are neighbors.
Leaving military aircraft. I'm warning you again. Leave immediately, or you will therefore responsibility for all the consequences.
If I make it, God willing, to the presidency, I will be the first left president in this country. Ang lolo ko, Chinese, from Xiamen. Kasi sabi ko, what do you want me to do? Shoot the Moro or shoot the Christian?
Sa state banquet, pinuri pa ni si Duterte at ikinumpara siya kay Rizal.
I became a radical because I come from Lyceum. Would you believe it? The subject that Maria Season was teaching us was political thought. And that's why he contaminated us early on, and we became the first Kabataang Makabayan. And that's the reason why I raised my fist, because I am a member of Bayan. Why is it that there's so much killing during political exercises? Why do you think people kill the guys on the other side? Eh sabi ko, kung ako ang mapresidente, per chance, either patayin mo ako o patayin kita. Because I have to swear to the Filipino flag. Kaya ganun, kung bakit magtanong, bakit ba dito? Sa Pilipinas, patayan. In other nations, some vote, some don't, and no big deal. Because we have kept our country in eternal poverty. That is the reason why. Because in this country, if you would notice, historically, there are about only few guys, the billionaires here in Manila, the Imperial Manila, to choose the president for us. Kasi, namimili, and those elected really take care of the elite. Ito namang nasa gobyerno, they have to steal. They have to make money to sustain their partisan group in a society because we have kept our country in eternal poverty. The poor, which constitute about 85% of this country, are really dependent on government people. Yung basta yung gusto kanila, gusto ka pag ayaw ka, and if you are not a member of the ruling elite, stay out. That's why sabi ko, gusto ninyo. Oh, they will hear. But if I become president, I'd be prim and proper. Those elected really take care of the elite. Ito namang nasa gobyerno, the elite, they have to steal. Pag sinabi ng mga politiko, dito tayo, ha? Opo, congressman. O dito tayo. Opo. Dito tayo ngayon. Yes, sir. Bahala ka, sir. If I become president, I'd be prim and proper. Why? Because we have kept our country in eternal poverty. I'm not trying to equate myself with you or identify myself with you, but they want it prim and proper. They control the media, they control television and all, and they want to do governance in accordance with their interest. That's how it is. Noon pa ganun talaga ang maliliman lang yan. And this elite, they want to chart the history of our country in their eyes, in their mind.
Sa state banquet, pinuri pa ni si Duterte at ikinumpara siya kay Rizal.
That is why practically every Filipino has Chinese ancestry. Every Filipino has Chinese ancestry.
Ang lolo ko, Chinese, from Xiamen. Kaya pumunta ako ng China. So when I said, I come here in good faith. I do not have any arms. As you can see, wala akong armas. I just want to talk about the Western China. Well, we understand that we have this problem. But we do not think that it would be the right time now to talk about trouble. Maybe sometimes. So the war now is on trade, not territory. That's why he said geopolitics is always changing. And I wanted to establish, to realign our broken, it was really broken. Let us be frank with each other. Sabi ko, in a bilateral table, Philippine Sea, you call it the China Sea. I want you to know that I am going there to drill oil because that is ours, a property of China. Yung iba naman pumapalag. No, I'm testing really the waters sa radicalism. As if I am irreverent, but it's not really true. Baka patayin ako itong dalawan to, mga gago. For safety, sinasadya ko yan. Lalo na yung inanala. Because in this country, yung mga probinsyano, hindi ko naman, I'm not trying to equate myself with you or identify myself with you, but they want it prim and proper. They control the media, they control television and all. And they want to do governance in accordance with their interest because we have kept our country in eternal poverty. And those elected really take care of the elite.
I am really sorry for you, Mr. President. Ang pinagtatanggal nyo, si Lau, may utang na loob kayo dahil sa eleksyon. You are a cheap politician, Mr. President.
This was Senator Richard Gordon's take on President Duterte as the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee resumed its hearing on the government's procurement of overpriced medical supplies. Gordon asked the president why he continuously defends the people behind this issue.
Bakit sa umpisa pa lang nagtatago na kayo? Ayaw niyong pakinggan ng tao ang investigasyon ng COA? Ayaw niyong pakinggan ang investigasyon ng senador? Napapaso po ba kayo?
He also advised President Duterte to cooperate with Senate instead of protecting those involved.
Bakit niyo pagtatanggol yan? Hindi niyo ba pwedeng sabihin niyo, oy, labas yung katotohanan. Pakakagat ko kayo kay Dracula at para mamatay kayo, marami kayong dugong hinutkot sa Pilipino.
However, Senator Bongo defended the president, saying that Duterte is not protecting nor favoring anyone.
Kung pinagpipilitang parmali na yan, wala po kaming kinalaman ni Pangulong Duterte dyan. Yariin niyo na po. Kasuhan niyo na po kung may kasalanan. Hindi po sila pinagtatanggol ng Pangulo. Ang ayaw niya po ay yung pilit na inuugnay, tinitwist ang katotohanan at pinipilit na inuugnay sa kanya.
Go also insists that President Duterte never gave favor to Michael Yang's transactions even if the president knows him. During the hearing, Gordon also bared that several formerly executives allegedly acquired luxury cars after bagging the COVID-19 supply procurement contracts with the government. Formerly Director Lincoln Ong, for one, owns 2 Porsche and Lexus cars, which each costs millions.
Tatlo yan, kaya luxury cars. Nakarehistro sa LTO. Alam ko kung na-check na ng BIR yung mga tao yan. Na madaling sabi, sa suma total po, talagang nagpapasasa talaga itong mga taong ito.
Aside from Ong, other formerly officials Mohit Dargani and Twinkle Dargani also reportedly own luxury cars worth millions of pesos. Reporting for News 5, Mean Los Baños, we are One News.
Ang lolo ko, Chinese, from Xiamen. Ang lolo ko, Chinese, from Xiamen. We became the first kabataang makabayan. Eh sabi ko, kung ako ang mapresidente, per chance, either patayin mo ako o patayin kita. So I have a line in my family na puro muro. Kasi sabi ko, what do you want me to do? Shoot the Moro or shoot the Christian? So if there's anybody most interested to have peace in Mindanao, ako. Ang lolo ko, Chinese, from Xiamen. We became the first kabataang makabayan. So I have a line in my family na puro muro. Ang lolo ko, Chinese, from Xiamen. You know, until now, if I make it, God willing, to the presidency, I will be the first left president in this country. And that's the reason why I raise my fist, because I am a member of Bayan. Bayan has always been my political party, but I am not a member of the Communist Party of the Philippines. I do not agree. They're too far left. I do not agree with the armed struggle and the killing of Filipinos. Magpatayan lang tayo kanya-kanyang ating bayan. But I am really a socialist. One, because we have experienced hardship in our lives. In 1948, my father decided to migrate to Mindanao, in Davao City, and it was still a frontier land. It was a long, unwinding road of sacrifice. I remember vividly, in 1954, my father built a house in a wetland, just at the back of the Ateneo de Davao. And you know what? Even at that time, no one would ever think that the wetlands were already in the hands or the title named after so many owners. But most of them were from Luzon, particularly in Manila. And it is not their fault, actually, for the simple reason that, at that time, the Bureau of Lands and whoever was taking care of the Department of Mindanao, that was the governing entity noon. And wala namang communications. Probably there was a dearth of information coming in from the Manila government. And so most of the lands were given to we are opening up Mindanao for the taking. Baka gusto mo. We are opening up Mindanao for the taking. Baka gusto mo. So almost all taga rito. Hindi naman pumunta sa Visayas. Wala namang cellphone noon. And even the mails took them about a week to reach our place. So, not their fault. But that is how it was. And I grew up with a paradigm very limited sa aking environment. I grew up in a squatters area. Hindi naman sa lahat ng panahon. We improved our lot as the years went by. But ako, naranasan ko talaga yung kahirapan. So that is why naglaki ako ng ganun ang paningin ko. I could not have developed a mindset different from what I have now because sa formative years ko, doon ako sa squatters. And I learned the gutter language. And the idioms that I use are really reflective of just an improvement of what I learned sa aming neighborhood. That is why I can talk in pagka sulti ko sa Ilonggo, ara Ilonggong re, damo sa Ilonggo lumaki kasi kami mixed. Davao City does not belong to any particular tribe. Ang lolo ko, Chinese, from Xiamen. It is not the Visayans, it is not the Tagalogs, but a mix. And that is why this new generation, sumunod namin, they talk in and out Visayan, Tagalog. If you are not a Davaoeña or Davaoeño, you'd never understand the new generation. Alam nila mag-connect ng, no, they can say Tagalog in the first few lines, but continue with the Visayan. Mawawala ka. And that is the evolving dialect there in the southern part of our country. Mix kami, and we can talk in, di kahambal ko sang Iloilo, daw believe sila sa ako na, di Duterte na di Puga na, Ilonggo mga kanina So you can see the crowd, especially those taken from Idrong, spectacular, very spectacular. Pero if I can convert yung mga sinasabi na sa akin, that is another story. That is another story because, voting time is a very imponderable thing and anything can happen there. Vote buying, intimidation and all. Ako wala akong partido but I choose PDP because PDP is actually left-leaning. As a matter of fact, the PDP guys take their oath of office with the left hand and shake with the left hand. Ganon ang ni Pimentel. Pimentel is parang ganon rin, but not so. Kami yung sumunod mga radical. But I have been mayor of Davao City for the last 23 years. I started with Bayan. And I did well. Ngayon, bakit ako tumakbo? I was ready to retire. And I gave you 3 reasons. And those elected really take care of the elite. And this elite, they want to chart the history of our country in their eyes, in their mind. Ito namang nasa gobyerno, they have to steal. They have to make money to sustain their partisan group in a society because we have kept our country in eternal poverty. And I said, I have a very serious in the family. Second is that I'm old. Third, I do not have the money because we have kept our country in eternal poverty. Kaya noong October 16, I was not there to file a certificate of candidacy. I never show up in Manila. Sa Davao lang ko, sabi ko, look guys, been telling you, ayaw ko maging presidente. Bakit ba ako karaming, Manila guys, mamili ka by the thousands. Why are you insisting on me? Yung iba mga taga Maynila. But for those, well, of course, the well-to-do in Davao, sabi nila na, pagka yun ang line-up of the national horizon, we are in trouble. Sabi ko, ayaw ko. It was only in yung 10 of, November? Sa substitution, December, sa substitution, na sinadya talaga nila dito to reserve yung si Captain Dino, Kapitan, na mag-reserve talaga na siya because they thought that they could, by that time, really, not really force, but convince me to run. Now, in the meantime that I was waiting for the parties to announce and the candidates, we were already talking about the problems of our country. And for the life of me, wala akong narinig na tao nagsasalita about Mindanao, the most critical issue sa ating bayan. Else, we might end up with a new reconfiguration of the flag. And tell me why. And if you listen very carefully, you'd understand. In 1521, the first colonizers, the imperialists, landed in Leyte. Went down Magellan, planted the flag of the Kingdom of Spain, and proclaimed, I would call all these islands in the name of the King of Spain. So it will be known as the Philippines, to honor King Philip. And tapos sabi niya, I will now bring into this island the faith of Christianity. Well, I do not have any quarrel with religions. For after all, it moves down to our values in life. Ang problema, when he went around, he was using gunpowder, which for the first time was very alien to the natives, yung mga tatay natin. And so when they first heard of the explosions, talagang everybody was shaking because this guy who is white has a weapon that can really kill us from a distance. And even the muskets, the rifle of the times. Pakapatay ka ng tao na malayo. So the natives were really no match. Yung mga lolo natin, ang lolo ko, Chinese, from Xiamen. Yung mga lolo natin, ang lolo ko, Chinese, from Xiamen. And one day, they found ourselves, our fathers, looking, may mga puti, nag-a-announce na kanila ito and we have to pay our due and respect to the Kingdom of Spain. And they sat here for 400 years. And they enjoyed the fat of the land. And there was this war between the Spaniards and the Americans. And Admiral Dewey, in whose name Dewey Bolivar's name, smashed the Spanish Armada dyan sa Manila Bay. And so by the Treaty of Paris, ending that war, the Philippines was ceded to the Americans as if we were chattels, the population. Masakit yan. So we had the Americans. And again, they took advantage of the land, 50 years. Enjoyed again the fat of the land. The best mahogany, lahat na. Don't ever think that when the Filipinos came into lag in this country, all the beautiful woods now, wala na. It's almost extinct. Tindalo, Giho, those were na hindi makain ng anay Believe me. Those are really hard as hard. If at all, I don't know if you still can count them by the number of your fingers, the trees still standing in our forest. So yan ang ano ko. We were colonized, and the Spaniards and the Americans created the troubles of our country. It was because of imperialism. Because they went as far as Mindanao to look for new territories. Mindanao was not really a part of the original lands taken by the Spaniards. Kasi if at all, a few Muslims here, Moro and some, our forefathers never had that religion that prays to God before. Sometimes we do it in front of a cross. Ay ang atin mga minuno, wala man silang santo. Santo Paulo, St. James, Santo Rodrigo, wala yun. So little by little, they learn about Christianity. I don't have nothing against religion. Religion is also values. Sometimes we forget. Ang problema nito is just like the Middle East, which was carved out from the chart of the Americans, the British, and the French. Look at what happened to colonialism. They're paying for it. War, they brought it to their lands. They are not being invaded. Sila mismo created the problem. In the spirit of libertarian and humanity, sige, pasok kayo. Not knowing na yung pumapasok dyan, also know their history and how they were colonized at ang oil nila for so many centuries were controlled by the Western powers and even the pricing. So Britain got rich sa industrialization, American all, and the countries in the Middle East divided. Puro Arab yan eh. Pinakialaman nila, ayun, ganun. No, there's the Daesh or ISIS, sinusunog sila lahat doon. Those are the sad reality. Kaya ako talagang nagpana ako. I am not that, hindi ako ganun kabastos. Pero sinasadya ko yan because, whatever mabayaran sila, especially the writers, and there are a lot of them, they would really slant. And every statement that I make, they would always slant it. Sinasadya ko tuloy. Talagang minumura ko sila. And even the United States, nag-comment doon dito ko, guys, you are practicing how not to be a successful diplomat. I am a Filipino before anything else. Ang lolo ko, Chinese, from Xiamen. I have that fundamental right to say what I want to say. Pagka sinabi kong ganon, at I was just narrating what happened, they took it to mean that I was joking. I was not joking. Alam mo kasi, politika ngayon. There's an affidavit circulating about a Moro lady na hinulog ko sa helicopter daw. Wala man akong hinulog na helicopter na Moro woman. Swimming pool siguro, tinutulak kita. But why should I throw you out of the helicopter? May nahulog, 3, pero they decided to jump without the parasol. They let them. Wala ang pakialam. Gusto mo tumalon ka. Ayan, totoo. Pero I never really pushed out a lady there. You know how politics is. They the establishment. Basta yung gusto kanila, gusto ka pag ayaw ka, and if you are not a member of the ruling elite, stay out. Well, that is why sabi ko, gusto ninyo. They will hear. But if I become president, I'd be prim and proper. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Sabi ko, kung ako ang mapresidente, per chance, either patayin mo ako, patayin kita. Because I have to swear to the Filipino flag that I would keep the integrity of this republic as one, and that I have to provide, including the Moro people who do not want it, protection for everybody. That is the duty of a president. Sabi, my mother is a half Maranao, half Chinese. Ang lolo ko, Chinese, from Xiamen. Many years ago, may asawa siya doon. Pumunta dito yung buang, nag-asawa ulit, yung lola ko. From Xiamen. Now, yung anak ko, yung vice mayor, also being vilified now, nag-smuggling daw, is really the vice mayor of Davao. He married a Moro lady, a Maranao mother and a Tausug father. From Xiamen. So I have a line in my family na puro Moro. From Xiamen. Kasi sabi ko, what do you want me to do? Shoot the Moro or shoot the Christian? Ang lolo ko, Chinese, from Xiamen. So if there's anybody most interested to have peace in Mindanao, ako. Torn between two lovers ako. I love the Moro because my lola is a Maranao. Now, tinatanong niya ako, anong tribo ni Duterte? Bakit masama ang bunganga niyan? Well, we trace our pedigree sa papa. So my father came from Cebu. So kung magtanong kayo, anong tribo mo, Duterte? Cebuano. Nakatira ka ba doon? Hindi. Bakasyon lang. May kilala ka sa Davao? Wala rin. Kasi nakatira ako sa Davao. Doon ako lumaki. Pero kami doon sa Visayas, we grew up in a neighborhood. Mix kami lahat. No tribe can claim dominance there.